Have you ever had a plant-based burger? Me neither. But there is a plant-based stock that is looking super appetizing, and we're gonna go ahead and taste it in this video.
You've been sending flowers to me. Flowers today, flowers today. Instead of sending flowers, come back to me and hold me in your arms again.
Welcome back to my channel, boys and girls, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you are new here, what we do is we talk about everything that has to do with money, but in the most simple terms. And the reason for why we do that is because we want everybody to understand. We want everybody to make money because we are in this together. Please, if you like this type of content, go ahead and subscribe, maybe hit the like button and comment something. Maybe comment that I have ugly ass eyebrows. I don't care. Comment something. In this video, we're gonna go ahead and talk about a very undervalued stock with a lot of upside. Ticker symbol TTCF. The company is called the Tattooed Chef. It's in a very fast and high growth plant-based industry. And I really believe there's a lot of opportunity here, guys. And you know, on this channel, we don't just make claims, we prove them. There are 4 points that we're gonna go ahead and look over to properly analyze this stock. The first point is the healthy plant-based market and where it's at today. 2, about the company, its competitors, who's fighting who for market share. 3, financials, you know we love the dollar signs. And 4, predictions, how I think this company can perform in the future. Let's check it out. So it's pretty evident that a lot of people's relationship with food is changing and changing fast. A lot of people are realizing what they are putting in their body. A lot of people are learning about what is in their foods, like GMO, non-GMO, dairy, non-dairy, organic, non-organic, plant-based, non-plant-based. All of this is gonna come into account with this stock. In fact, I actually found a really cool graph that shows us the health and wellness food market value worldwide from year 2016 to year 2021. And we can see here that the growth for health and wellness food products is actually growing very steadily year over year. You can see in 2016, there was a $707 billion US market value for the health and wellness food products. And in 2021, it's at $811 billion US. People are realizing that the correlation between their food and how they are on the daily is very directly correlated. One of the best ways to go ahead and predict the growth of a stock in a few years is by looking at that stock's industry. In this case, the plant-based industry, we want to look at the market value of that industry. We want to predict where that industry is going to be in a few years. And usually, if the market of a certain stock is going up, the stock should also follow. In fact, I had found a really interesting research prediction by Meticulous Research. They predicted that the plant-based food market is expected to reach $74.2 billion in 2027, which correlates to a 11.9% CAGR. CAGR is compounded annual growth rate. So we're seeing an 11.9% growth rate every single year in the plant-based industry. And we love to invest in growing, emerging industries. With this being said, if the plant-based industry is growing fast, the stock should also grow fast. Something really cool that I found during my research for this video is that during COVID, Beyond Meat's plant-based sales increased by 140%. It skyrocketed. And in my opinion, this happened because a lot of people got frightened and scared by the virus and realized that they are not invincible, and maybe eating healthier and whole foods is the way to go for them and their family. If you guys are still not seeing my point, I want to make one more comparison so you guys can truly understand what I'm trying to say here. The plant-based market can be directly compared to the EV market, and here's my reasoning behind that. When the EV market started coming up, a lot of people were very skeptical about putting a battery in a car and have it drive with no gas. Very skeptical. However, Tesla, the EV market now is so big that there's no stopping it. And this is what's happening with the plant-based market. People are very skeptical, but whether we like it or not, it will be a huge industry. Now let's talk about the company itself and its competitors. This company is super interesting. You've probably never actually heard of the name The Tattooed Chef, and I don't blame you because I haven't heard of it much either. However, what they do is they have a straight pipeline to the consumer when it comes to plant-based frozen food. So what they do is they actually control their own crop, they manufacture it, they package it, and they deliver it to your local Costco or Walmart. And it's really, really cool that they are in touch with the whole process. From the farm to your table. This can allow the most awesome and perfect quality of food that you can get. I mean, when the company controls the whole process, you can't really go wrong anywhere. Another really cool point I want to bring up is that this company, to me, seems like it's targeting millennials and Gen Z as their targeted consumers. Now, we saw earlier in my video that there has been an 11.9% growth rate in the plant-based industry. And why this is important is because there's another stat that I also found in my research for this video. I actually found it on the competitor's website, the Impossible Foods website. And it said 72% of millennials with kids are opting to eat more plant-based foods at home. And this is super important because we're understanding that millennials themselves, they love plant-based foods, right? But what they're also doing is they're feeding their kids those foods. And their kids are gonna get used to that food, and it's gonna become a norm in the future to eat plant-based food. If their kids are growing up eating these foods, what's to say that they're not going to continue eating these foods? And so that right there provides you information on how the market for these products will grow in the future. So all this to say is that the more the market for plant-based foods is growing, the more the companies that work in these sectors, in these industries, will grow. It's evident. Let's talk about the financials. But before that, I gotta put my glasses on because I'm blind. I'm very blind. I can see it clearly now. The rain has gone. Ba-da-ba. So let's begin with their balance sheet. And right off the bat, on their balance sheet, you can look at their total asset. It's $207 million. That's a really beautiful cash position. Very awesome on their part. But something even more interesting is their total liabilities. It's only $17 million. And something even more interesting is that $7 million of their $17 million liabilities is straight up just lawyer fees for their IPO. So we have a great asset to liability comparison. Very happy to see this. So let's look at the company's statement of operations. And right off the bat, we can see here that the company took a loss from operations of about $8 million. Their net income came out as a loss of $7.9 million. And they've had a net loss per share of 1.12. In conclusion, they are not profitable. But I am not worried whatsoever. One, because this is a small cap stock. Two, because the industry that this stock is in is still emerging and is not even at its peak yet, not even close to its peak yet. And three, none of its competitors are actually profitable. Beyond Meat posted a $12 million loss in net income last quarter. So I am not worried about them not being profitable. So I'm gonna give you guys a prediction on the share price and the stock itself and how it's gonna do in the future. And I'm basing this prediction on one, their increase in demand for plant-based products worldwide every year. Two, the increase in the size of the plant-based industry. So the more the industry grows, the more the companies in that industry should grow. Theoretically, and because of its great financials, it has $207 million in the bank and only $17 million in liabilities. Yes, they're not profitable, but they have enough to hold themselves down. It comes as a no-brainer for me to say that I truly believe this stock will grow 2 to 3 times its share price in about, if I have to give you guys a time frame, 4 years at the max, but it will happen before 4 years, 100%. I truly believe it. With everything I've seen, this is very undervalued and there's a lot of upside. Thank you for watching this video, guys. Thank you for even clicking on this video. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe and like, because it does take me a long time to research this information and put it all in the video for you guys to digest in the most simple terms. Now, I really appreciate you watching this video. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.
What a wonderful world.